Hello, I'm Monica.
And I'm Anthony.
And
we're
we're
the
the
cooks.
cooks.
See, we did it good that time.
Yeah.
Taylor fussed at us. Our daughter fussed at us because she said, you guys, when you do, I'm Anthony, I'm Monica, we're the cooks. She said, Mom is a little bit slow on we're the cooks part. So we switched it up. YouTube, today we're going...
Call me slow.
She said you're slow when to come in. She didn't say you're slow.
Oh.
YouTube, today we are going to talk about something that is near and dear to our hearts. And we want to talk to you about special gifts that we've received from each other. Okay? Special gifts that we receive from each other. And so, I want to go first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Special gift. I'm going to tell you about a special gift. Special gift that I received from my beautiful wife is, one day, she lied to me. And what she said was, she said, you and our son you need to go out and get really nice suits because after church we're going to go take these really good pictures and we really need to be dressed up. So I said, okay. So my son and I, we went out and we got matching suits, pinstripe, looking good, black with the white pinstripe, looking good. And so we got up that morning, we went to church. So I'm sitting there in church and my son leaves to go off to children's church. And when he leaves to go off to children's church, I'm sitting there and the pastor, our pastor at our church, calls me up on the stage. And he wants to use me as an example in his sermon. So I'm like, okay, that's nothing out of the ordinary because our pastor does that. He'll just randomly just pull people from the audience and say, okay, the Lord is going to use you today. So I'm like, okay. So he calls me up on stage and I'm standing on stage and he says, sometimes God leaves things the way that they are. And sometimes God makes things new, like in your marriage. Okay, maybe I missed something. Okay, he said sometimes he'll take something and refresh it, like your marriage. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And then he said something about sometimes he'll make you do things over, kind of like your marriage. And I'm sitting there going, what is he talking about? I don't get it. And then all of a sudden the lights go dim, and when the lights go dim, I hear my beautiful wife, I love you. You've always been my best friend. You've always been my lover. You've always been all of these wonderful things. And today I want to ask you if you'll be my husband. And I'm like, I don't get it. So the lights come on, and when the lights come on, I see my son. He's walking up, and he has a pillow with like flowers, and then my daughters come out, and they're dropping flowers on the ground. And then all of a sudden, I see my wife coming around the corner, and she has on this beautiful dress, this gorgeous dress. And so she walks up on the stage, and my pastor says, today you're renewing your vows. And I'm like, okay. So he performs the ceremony, and it's beautiful. And he was like, how do you feel? And, I cried a little bit. And he was like, how do you feel? I said, I feel like I'm on like Oprah Winfrey show or something, because she threw me a surprise wedding. And it was really cool because when the lights came up, my mom was sitting in the audience and my coworkers were sitting in the audience. And I looked over to the side and there was a wedding cake and there was a full buffet. And I mean, it was incredible. And she even got me because she went to put on my ring. And I'm like, oh, let me take off my old wedding ring. But what I didn't know was while I was asleep in the middle of the night, her and my kids took my wedding ring off. They slipped it off my finger without me knowing. And so she had me a new wedding ring, and she even got together with my supervisor and took time off for me and ended up getting us a hotel room and a honeymoon. I mean, it was a full-fledged, complete, total wedding that totally caught me off guard. And, being a guy, I'm sitting there like, okay, a surprise wedding, And what was really cool to me, and I know that this was a gift that came from you, what was really cool to me was that when I started talking to her about it, everybody that was in our church was in on it. And so our pastor was in on it, all of our friends, people cooked all the food, the whole buffet. The lady who made the cake even did it, to be able to bless us. And when we went to the hotel, when we walked in, they were like, oh, why are you guys here? Oh, we renewed our vows. Oh, how long have you guys been married? And so we told them. And so they took us and they compassed the honeymoon suite. I mean, it was just really, really, really special. So to me, that was the very best gift. I mean, other than my kids and all that kind of stuff. Because I know people are going to be like, oh, so your kids aren't that important? Yeah, my kids were a wonderful gift. But I went half on them. Okay. So what was the best gift that I ever gave you?
You know what's interesting about that story? It was after we had a little bit of money.
Well, I mean, did it cost you a whole lot? Okay, it was after we had a little bit of money. We still have a
I have
little
to
bit.
bring that up because my favorite gift was when we had lights around the entertainment center because we couldn't get a Christmas tree. But I remember he actually read a verse out the Bible to me, the Proverbs 39
Oh, wow.
woman.
Yeah.
And it was wow, I think that was I've had some extravagant gifts, but that was the most memorable one.
Okay.
Is
Well,
that bad?
no, that's not bad. That's wonderful.
Don't make you feel bad though, right?
No, I mean, because honestly, when I started, because we before we got ready to do this video, we were like, okay, we're gonna discuss some of the best presents or gifts that we've given to each other, and I've tried to give you some good gifts. I rented a restaurant for a candlelit dinner for just the two of us. Remember that?
Yeah,
I rented a yacht
yeah.
for a candlelit dinner for just the two of us.
Yeah, but that gift didn't. The I don't know. It was
Special.
special.
I even got us a hot air balloon ride. We never took it. We don't play like that. But it was a good idea. It was a good thought. Yeah. But you know what? I will say this. When I gave you that gift, this is what happened. It was Valentine's Day. I'm at work, and I don't have any money for a wedding gift. And I'm actually sitting at work,
You
and
mean a Valentine's?
I'm sorry, Valentine's gift. I'm still thinking about my gift. I didn't have any money for a Valentine's gift, and I'm sitting at work, and my kids always fuss at me because I always say Valentine's. But I didn't have any money for a Valentine's gift, and so I was at work, and I was feeling kind of down on myself. Fellas, you know what I mean? When you really, really love the one you with, and you really want to bless them with something, and you don't have the finances to be able to do that. And I don't know if you've ever been like that, but I was sitting there working, I was kind of down on myself, and my supervisor came up to me and he was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I don't really want to talk about it." He's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Because Ron Fox, my supervisor, the man who led me to the Lord, I'm mentioning you, he said, 'What's wrong?' And I said, 'It's Valentine's, and I don't have a gift to be able to give to my wife.' And he said, 'Okay, get up from your desk and go into this other office.' So I said, 'Okay, what am I going to do?' He said, 'Go in the office, get on your knees.' This is at work. He said, 'Get on your knees and pray and ask God to bless you with a gift to be able to give to your wife.' And so I said, 'Okay.' So I went in the room and I turned off all the lights and I got on my knees and I prayed. And I said, 'Lord, please give me something to be able to bless not just my wife, but your daughter.' And when I said that, it just dropped down inside of me, inside of my spirit. And so I jumped in my car and I sped home, and she was upstairs, and I ran upstairs and I said, 'You need to come downstairs, you need to come downstairs.' So she came downstairs and she sat down on the couch, and then I took a pillow and I put it down on the ground on my knees. And she didn't even fuss about me taking her pillow off the couch and putting it on the ground. But I got down on my knees and I read to her the proverb. And she's gotten a lot of gifts because I love her. I cherish her. And I love showering her with gifts. I really do. Love blessing her. But to this day, when we start talking about special gifts and things and ways that we've blessed each other, to her, that's one that stands out the most. And it stands out to me. It really does. The present that she gave for me stands out to me because I've never had anybody that's put forth that much time, energy, and effort to be able to bless me with something like that.
It was a lot too.
It was a lot of work.
Oh man, it was a lot of work.
Was it worth it? It was worth it for me. But think about it. I had to get down on my knees. I mean,
I had to go shopping with your children.
Father God, thank you for allowing her to have the strength to be able to go shopping with those kids. But you only had 2. No, you had 3. Never mind. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tony. But one thing that we want you to get from this YouTube, video is that whether you have a little bit of money, whether you have no money, whether you have a lot of money, life is very short. And as long as life is, your marriage is even shorter. No matter how you see it. And so because of that, take the time to think about the one that you love and shower them with gifts. I always tell people you only get one wife, and that's if you do it right. And so our wish from us to you, for you to gather and take from this YouTube video is what?
Do not despise humble beginnings.
Don't despise humble beginnings. Don't, because you can have all the money in the world. And I can tell you, I've surprised her with a car. I've surprised her with a lot of things. But the thing that means the most to her is me seeking the Lord and being able to give her a gift that nobody else in the world could. Plenty of people could give her, I mean, look at her. There'd be a lot of men that would love to give her houses, boats, and cars. But nobody can give her that gift that I gave her that day. And so, just remember that. Anything else? So, thank you, YouTube. Please give us some comments on this. Let us know what you think. Subscribe. Tell people about us. And we really appreciate you taking the time to even listen to us. We're nobody.
You're over your minute.
Okay, she said that I'm over my minute because I said that we were going to keep this short. And so, anyway, YouTube, like she said, I'm over my minute. By how many? How many minutes am I over?
Almost 2.
But it was actually 1 when you said that. And so 1
plus 1
equals
1.
You were slow. You were slow.